Okay, so here we are. We're on the 200 block of Breed Street. We're right in between Cesar Chavez right here, and over this direction we have First Street. So we're right in the heart of Boyle Heights. This is a historic community founded in 1876, 100 years before I was born. This is already a thriving community for immigrants of all different ethnicities. We had a lot of German immigrants as well as Russian immigrants, but among the other immigrants that were numerous in this area were the Jewish immigrants and the Hispanic immigrants. This, for the Jewish community, was probably the largest of the synagogues of the time. This synagogue was built in the 1920s. Congregation Talmud Torah. It serviced at its height about 10,000 people within this community here. And, this we consider the jewel of Boyle Heights. I encourage everyone to come out and see it. I'm lucky to still go to synagogue with people who actually grew up in this synagogue, and it's very interesting for them to tell me their stories of growing up here and how much it meant to them. Actually, there's some people in my synagogue that still have some of the crystals from the chandeliers. This place had been going downhill for many years, but now it's in the process of being restored by the Breed Street Shul project, and it is now also being utilized as a community center, being that the back has now been restored. However, this glorious front building is still mostly in disrepair, and hopefully in years to come it'll be fully restored so that it can continue to serve the community here as a community center, and also for future Jewish events. We hope to see these halls filled with celebrations once again. Okay, so a lot of people believe that the Breed Street Shul is the only one of the synagogues that is still left from the glory days of when this was a Jewish community. That's not exactly true. We're right over here off of Evergreen on Fairmont Street, and this is the Fairmont Street Shul, otherwise known as B'nai Jacob. This was originally a modern Orthodox congregation. Men and women sat together, is what we mean by that. However, it's still standing. The interesting thing, maybe unfortunate thing about this, is that it no longer operates as a synagogue. Of course, there's not a living Jewish community within the area to really sustain it, but today it's now a Messianic Christian congregation, a church that operates in the form of a synagogue. So there are people that are currently occupying this. As you can see from the stones, the cornerstones here, this was actually laid in 1927. The rest of the building was added on in 1940, just behind here. But for the most part, this is pretty much left intact. I think it's a tzedakah box of some sorts. where you put donations. Looks relatively new though. I don't think it's original to the building. This is a pretty large complex. And this shows who's occupying it right now when they hold services in this building. Looking towards El Tepayac, where everyone knows to go for their Mexican food. Now, among the other interesting synagogues, a much forgotten one, right here in City Terrace, not far from the Fairmont Street Shul. This is, I believe this used to be the folk Shul. Other people call it Mount Zion. That's, I believe, how it got its name. To Monte de Zion, Iglesia Pentecostés, it is now a church. And as you can see, it's pretty much left intact. You know, there's some weathering to this building, but it does appear to be occupied, at least in use somehow. And but this is just one of several shuls in the area which have been made over into other buildings for public use or as churches, such as this one here. A walk through this side of town would be incomplete if I didn't show you this building. We are at the Boys and Girls Club here, and you know, what most people don't realize is that along with the other buildings that have been reused, among them are the community centers of the Jewish community that was previous here. Before this was the Boys and Girls Club, this was the Menorah Center. And here is one of the locations that the residents would have had their special events, weddings, bar mitzvahs, all kinds of things celebrated. Now it's being used as a multi-purpose facility for youth. Now here in the back, we'll just get over there real quick. You can see how the community still has live and active projects going on, and very live projects actually. Right here they have their own little community garden going on. And here we are. Okay, so we're here off of Alma. We're actually here off of City Terrace Drive. And we're actually up in the hills where a lot of these bigger houses have been cut down into smaller apartments and smaller family houses. Now, among one of the buildings that serves the families and the community here, this here is the Boys and Girls Club. However, at one time this used to be the Menorah Center. The Menorah Center was the Jewish community center for this area. Now, they used to do all kinds of things here, hold weddings, bar mitzvahs, simchas and celebrations of every kind, but they also used to hold services here as well. Now, this is like a lot of other buildings there in Los Angeles that are being reused for other community services by other minority groups. Unfortunately, unlike other places in Los Angeles, there is actually no sign here of what this used to be. So very few people know that this very good-sized facility used to be the Jewish Community Center, active Jewish Community Center, both culturally and religiously in this area.